Hello everyone, in today's video I'm going to show you how to make a panorama using both Lightroom and Photoshop. Let's go. Okay, so here we are in Lightroom and I'm going to show you how to turn the sequence of images that you can see at the top left, these 14 pictures, into this one using just Lightroom. Okay, so remember when you're taking panoramas, what you want to do is you want to shoot vertically. Okay, and from one picture to the next they should share at least 30% of the picture, so that when you're merging them there's enough data for Lightroom or Photoshop or the other program you might be using to blend those images together. So don't take one and then move to the opposite end of the previous one. No, you want to make sure you have at least 30% shared between the two images. So this one will share a little bit with this one, and so on and so forth. So I'm just going to move from one to the next so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, and there we go. So okay, so now I'm going to select the first one. Okay, I'm going to click and hold shift, and I'm going to click the last one. So I have, in this case, 15 photos selected. Okay, I'm going to right click, okay, and I'm going to go to photo merge and then click on panorama. Okay, and now it's going to take a little time, and maybe this is when I go get some coffee, but I'll speed up the video for you guys so that you don't have to wait that long. Okay, and I'm back. So now you can see that you have three different options at the top right: spherical, cylindrical, and you'll notice the difference just as it builds the preview. And perspective, I'm gonna assume it's not gonna work, because yeah, it's not gonna work here on this one. Just the difference between the two, so one is a bit thinner than the other one. I think spherical, I'm gonna keep that one. Okay, so now you have two options. You can either click fill edges, and what's that gonna do is gonna do content aware on the white areas, which usually is not a good idea, but we'll see anyway. I'm pretty sure it's not a good idea. We can zoom in, and yeah, you see that arm looks funky as hell. At the very top it looks like it did an alright job, but I assume it's not that good once we really go in. Yeah, and the chairs, you see the chairs over there, they don't look good at all. So that's not a good idea. If it was like plain sky or something, absolutely fill the edges, but in this case we're not going to do it. Now we have two options. We can auto crop, so Lightroom is going to crop from the areas that it doesn't need to fill anything. Okay, or we can click and hold the boundary warp, and you see the image starts to fill. So basically it's warping the image to fill the edges. So 100% means everything will be filled. Either one works. It's up to you which one you want to decide to use. I'm okay with this one in this case, and now I'm going to click on merge. So now I might go have another coffee, and I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, and welcome back. You can probably hear the fans on my computer. I could probably fry an egg here on my laptop. So anyway, this is the picture that it created. This one has a little bit more editing done. But basically what I'm going to do here is I'm going to crop it, and I'm going to select an aspect ratio of 1:3 because I want to use this for Instagram. Okay, so I'm eventually going to divide this into 3 different squares. So that's why I'm doing this. I don't want to have that girl that's on the right side there in the picture. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm okay with that. And now I'm going to do a gradient on the sky just to make it a little bit bluish. Yeah, okay, I'm good with that. And there you go. Maybe I can raise the exposure overall just a little bit. Yeah, okay, I'm happy with that. You can even see the 3 eagles there. Look at that, the Benfica eagles. So yeah, so this is how I would do it in Lightroom. Now I'm gonna export this picture, and later I'm gonna open it in Photoshop, and you're gonna see how this turns out. So I already have it there, don't I? Yeah, I do. So I have already exported that picture. So now let's just go into Photoshop and continue there. Okay, so welcome to Photoshop. So I have opened the panorama that I just made. Now what I'm gonna do is going to the crop tool, which is here, click and hold, so I can get the slice tool. Okay, and I'm gonna right click, and I'm gonna click on divide slice, and now start looking at the picture to see what I'm doing. So if I divide horizontally in 3, it's gonna divide it like this. That's not what I want. What I want is the exact opposite. So divide vertically into 3. See, 1 square, 2 squares, 3 squares. This is why it was important in Lightroom to define the picture with a crop of 1 to 3. So now it's just magical, right? So I'm gonna click OK, and now I'm gonna go File, Export, Save for Web Legacy. Now I want to make sure that at the top I have selected JPEG and not GIF, because you might have done animated GIF in the past. I don't know. Now I just press Command 0 or Control 0 to see the whole picture. Now you see the 3 pictures, right? And at the top here you see JPEG. Make sure it's JPEG and not GIF. And select all of them to make sure they have the same settings, because let's pretend I change this to GIF on number 2. If I switch to number 3, it's gonna go to JPEG. You see the difference? So you want to make sure that all of them are JPEG. Okay, and then you're gonna save. I have already saved them, but had I not, let's just do Instagram here, create. Yes, call it whatever you want, Instapano, and save. And there you go. Now it's going to export 3 separate images that you just load up from your phone, create an Instagram post that's swipeable, and it looks amazing. So that's how you do it, all the way from Lightroom, creating the panorama, opening it in Photoshop, slicing it up, and posting it in Instagram. And here's how that looks in Instagram. Now, last but not least, let's see how to do a panorama in Photoshop. So you open it up, you go File, Automate, and then Photo Merge, and then you're gonna browse. I have it somewhere. Let's see. Yeah, here. You select them all, open. Okay. And now it's going to take some time, because it's going to create layers for every single one of those images, and then it's going to merge them. So this is the time where I would go get coffee as well. So see you guys in a little bit. I'll just speed it up. And welcome back to Photoshop. So here you can see the merged version in Photoshop. Now you can see there, maybe you can see there's like some cracks in here. Don't worry, the image is not cracked at all. That's just the layers where they blend in. If you see here, you see the little white parts, it's the pictures where they actually meet. So from the left to the right, the parts of the images that were used to blend into the next one. Don't worry, it's not cracked. If I zoom in just to show you, that will disappear completely. There you go, it's completely gone. So from here on out, you would just crop as usual, like you do in Lightroom. If you want to divide it, slice it up in 3 or 4 or whatever fits your picture, you do that as well. But this would be the way to do it in Photoshop. So whichever method you prefer, it works both ways. You could obviously do some editing here too. Just remember, it's very easy to content aware fill a sky or grass or something simple. It won't be easy for Photoshop or Lightroom to do the same with people or chairs or something like weird patterns. So make sure when you're taking the picture that you capture the things that cannot be filled with content aware. The sky, that's not a problem. Grass, that's not a problem, but stuff like this would be. And even more important, that you have that 30% shared between one picture to the next, to the next, to the next. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. It's a beautiful sight to see, isn't it? The most beautiful stadium in the world, at least for me. Anyway, thank you very much for watching the video, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up, helps a lot. If you loved it, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Stay safe, guys.